So let's talk about mom guilt. We've all felt it. Every mom out there has felt mom guilt. You know, we feel guilty about not spending enough time with our kids, maybe spending too much time working, not giving them, our full attention 24/7, and we feel bad about that. And mom guilt's it's a really hard thing to deal with sometimes, I think, because it's so personal, It's very, very personal. And I think we need to ask ourselves, why do we feel guilty? Do we feel like we're not doing a good job? Do we feel like we're not doing things right? I think that, if we all asked our kids if we were doing a good job as a mom, that they would all say yes. So I think, we're our harshest critic. And I think we put these unrealistic expectations on ourselves about being, a perfect mom. And then that leads to these feelings of guilt when we don't live up to that. We have this idea of being, perfect and being all the things because we want to raise good kids, we all want to be good parents. And so we think, what is our definition of a good parent? Does that mean that you're fully engaged with your kids all day long? It's unrealistic, I think we're afraid of being judged, really, is kind of what it boils down to. We're comparing ourselves too much to other people, and feeling like we're not measuring up. And so when we judge ourselves, then that creates that guilt feeling, and so we're kind of doing it to ourselves. We don't need to feel so guilty all the time. We know that we're doing what needs to be done. So, turn that conversation around. It's like, I'm not a bad mom. I feel bad because I have to work, and maybe turning that around and saying, I'm glad that I can provide for my children. I don't feel guilty about that because I'm providing a good life for my kids. So it's just a mindset thing. It's a mindset shift. I know that I feel guilty if I'm working and my kids, they interrupt me all day long, especially working at home right now. So I actually learned this technique, and I wish I remember where it came from, but it has been really effective with my kids. So first of all, I explain to them when I'm working, and it's like, if I can give them a time frame and say, Mom will be done at 10 o'clock, and then we can, whatever we're going to do, have lunch or swim or do whatever. So if they know there's a set time frame, then they tend to not bother me as much. The other thing is, if they do need to interrupt me, I learned this technique where they've learned now to walk up to me and they just put their hand on my arm. And that signals to me that they want to tell me something, they need to tell me something, but it's not them interrupting me with, Mom, can I do that? And especially when you're already in a thought process or something. So I don't have to stop. They just quietly come up, put their hand on my arm, and wait for me to acknowledge them, which I always do, but I do it when I finish my thought or whatever it is I'm doing. So that helps me not break the concentration, and while I'm working, but it also is respectful to them. They know that as soon as I finish that, whatever it is that I'm doing, they're going to have my full attention. So then that kind of helps me not feel so guilty about working with them around, because we have these little agreements, with each other, that they know Mom's working from this time to this time. They know if they need to tell me something, not to come yelling at me for stuff, but to just be quiet and, do the arm touch thing. So that's been really, really effective in our house, and, is a great little, technique to try with your kids if you're having that problem with them interrupting you during the day too. So the one thing I want to leave you with about mom guilt is it's okay to feel stressed as a mom. It is a stressful thing, especially when you're trying to run a business. So know that it's okay, that it's going to happen. It's not going to be roses and rainbows all the time. And just let go of that idea of perfectionism. We're not going to be perfect all the time, and our kids still love us anyways.